Hello everyone and welcome to this Adobe Premiere Pro video, where today in this software we're going to teach you how to use the razor tool and the remix tool in Adobe Premiere Pro. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. So now that we have come to the program itself, you can see that I have a couple of files and also an audio file for our deeply interesting remix tool. Now first, in order to go through this part, I'll explain it after I finish explaining you what the razor tool does. So first, the razor tool itself. Now in order to use the razor tool, we first need to have some clips over here. So let me go ahead and add them. And start number 3. So let's go over here. Okay. So now you can see that we have our files ready. So let's go ahead and use the razor tool on them. So what is the razor tool? So the razor tool in Adobe Premiere Pro is a tool used for cutting clips into separate segments on our timeline panel. It also allows you to make precise cuts at specific points, separating a clip into multiple parts or isolating a particular section for further editing. So now first, in order to use the selection tool, we have to go over here and select it. And you can see that the shortcut for a razor tool is the keyword C on our keyboard. Now, after you press C or even select it from the tool panel, we will just position this. So our razor tool is over here. After selecting it with your keyboard shortcut C or even selecting it from a tool panel, you'll notice that our cursor has this razor effect, but there's a red line across it diagonally. This is because we cannot cut empty parts of our timeline. We need to have a clip over here in order to use it. Okay, so now you will basically position your cursor at the desired cut point. However, hover the cursor above the clip on the timeline where you want to make the cut. For example, I want to make it here. Let's put it, hit there and then apply it. Okay, now you can see there's a cut and there are 2 parts of this video. Okay, now after that you can create more additional cuts if you want to make like multiple cuts in a clip. Repeat the process by positioning your cursor at different points, just like that. All right. Now let me press Ctrl Z because I want to place this second video or third video over here after the second video. So let's cut it over here. Cut it over here. Okay. Afterwards, I can just use the selection tool to delete the parts that I don't need. Now I can delete it like that and then drag all of them over there, but I'm going to teach you a shortcut, which is basically select the clip that you want to delete and then press Ctrl Shift Delete. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Okay, it seems to me that my keyboard shortcuts are not working, so I'll just select it and delete it for now. Then I will use the forward track select tool, select all of them and then bring them together. All right, so over here I want to delete this part specifically, so I'll select it and delete it, and then I'll just place it down there. Afterwards, if I play the video, you will see that it constitutes of multiple clicks after being cut from our razor tool. Okay, so now you might have noticed something while using the razor tool is that basically if I cut on something, it will show me 2 arrows over here at the beginning of the cut and the ending of the cut. So this is to tell you that this clip has been cut and these are separate clips now, but they're from the same video. Okay, so now I hope you've understood that. So the next part that I'm going to explain to you is basically you can adjust and manipulate the segments after making the cut with the razor tool. You can move them, you can delete them and put them independently or each segment independently anywhere. This allows you to rearrange and order your segments, remove unwanted positions, remove unwanted portions, or apply effects to specific sections of the clip. All right. You can also ripple edit or ripple delete, which will automatically remove the gap created by cutting with the razor tool. To do this, select the segment you want to remove, okay, and then just use the ripple delete. The adjacent clips will automatically close the gaps. Now, this is how you basically use the razor tool, all right? And I'll teach you another shortcut over here, which is basically, let's say I turned it back to the earlier standpoint. And here you can see that I have two clips here. Now, say I wanted to cut over here and also down here. So I can do this by doing that, yes, but if I had multiple clips over here, all right, it would be very hard for me to do that one by one. So instead of doing that, press down your shift button and then you'll see a straight line over here, which will tell you that Adobe wants to cut straight over here over multiple clips. Okay, so if I press the click button after that, you can notice that it creates a perfect cut over the two clips, and then I can manually go over there, select both of them, delete them, and then basically move the rest of the clips over here. Let me go ahead and cut this clip using the razor tool. Say I want up to like this much amount of content for that video, and I want this much amount of content for the next video. So my bad, let's do it again. Shift and then cut over here, and then afterwards I can just use the selection tool, press shift and then delete the parts that I don't need, delete, and then here we go. We have a perfect clip for us ready for use. And since this clip is also big, I want to make it a bit shorter. Use the razor tool, cut it down, shift delete, and then you'll see that the rest of the clip just goes on to the left side instead of me having to do this. Delete and then select all of them. There you go. So if you want to save yourself some time, just like I explained before, shift delete, and then you'll see all of the clips are just automatically moving to the left side, not manually. Okay. Now, this is what the razor tool basically does, as you already know it. Okay. It provides precision and control over the editing process by allowing you to cut clips precisely where you want them divided. It enables you to isolate and manipulate specific segments of a clip, giving you the flexibility to fine-tune your edits, create seamless transitions, or work on individual sections of your footage. By using the razor tool effectively, you can achieve more precise and detailed edits in your video project. All right, now that we're done with the razor tool, let's move on forward using this razor tool on the another video over here, which I have. So let's use this time-lapse video, and here you can see that we have a time-lapse video. Let's put it in half. Okay, now it looks better. Okay, so this is the time-lapse video as you already understood it. Now, what I want to do basically is make it a bit shorter because I want it to transition from one part where it's almost morning to the other part where it's almost like sunset over here, right over here. So I want to cut over here using the razor tool. Now I can also press Ctrl K to cut my tool, as you just saw. Okay. To cut my video, as you just saw, I use Ctrl plus K to cut it. Now, since I want to use video time from here, okay, let's press Ctrl K. There you go. Now we don't even have to click precisely in order to make the cut because it does it automatically for us. Okay, now afterwards you can see that this is the sunset, and now I want a bit of a dark portion. So let's say I want over here press Ctrl K. Okay, now we're done. Now I'll just select the parts that I don't need with my tool panel. So let's go to Window. Let's select Tools. Okay, afterwards, Selection Tool, Delete. Now you'll notice when I delete them, the arrows over here disappear by themselves because they don't exist anymore. Okay, now just like before, I'll go over here, press Shift Delete. Okay, let me make another cut over here because this video is too long. There you go. Select this part, Shift Delete, and we're done. Now if I play the video, you'll see that I'm successful in making whatever aim I had in the beginning. Okay. Okay, so the next tool that I'm going to teach you about is the Remix tool, which is a very fun tool to work with according to me. Okay, so what is the Remix tool? All right, the Remix tool is right over here below our Ripple Edit tools. And as you can see, it has this icon. When you apply Remix, Premiere Pro analyzes by measuring several qualities of each beat in a song, comparing them to every other beat. Remix finds a path of highest confidence based on those qualities to create a musically coherent and seamless song remix, including cuts and crossfades. So how do you use the Remix tool? First, in order to use it, we need to have a clip. Okay, by clip I mean an audio clip, just so you know. Okay, so let's bring our audio clip right over here. And since it's a very big audio clip, I mean, I can still use the Remix tool to put it down instead of using the razor tool. Okay, so you might think that cutting this part off would be better because it will make my music shorter. No, using the Remix tool, I can just adjust the time over here and Adobe Premiere Pro will do the rest for me. But before we start, I want you to listen to the music. Okay, as you can see over here, like up till here, we had like an intro. Then if we go more forward, it keeps on continuing like this, and then we get some more audio over here. It just keeps on continuing like that until we reach the end part of our song. Okay, so it's a very big song, as you can clearly see. So now how do I make this short without like cutting it with the razor tool or using third-party software, for example FL Studio, and waste time? Easy, we use the Remix tool. Now let's select it, and in order to first use the Remix tool, we need to make our timeline a bit smaller over here. Then you'll notice that it will not work on video clips, it only works on audio. You have to go to the end or beginning point of an audio, select the clip. Okay, make sure you select the clip before you use it, and then click and hold the tool. Then basically move it to the desired seconds that you want. As you move it down, you can see that it's telling you how much seconds over here you have basically removed. Okay, and after I do it, you'll notice that we have this essential sound panel pop up, and here we can select what type of duration we want. We either wanted a remix or a stretch. Now after putting it in a remix, you can see that my target duration increased a bit. Let's make it back into small, but it's not happening because this is the max amount of sharpness that Adobe Premiere Pro can give me. So this is what happens. And here we can also select the target duration, and if you want to do ducking, you can do that too. And you can select sensitivity, fade in, fade position, and afterwards If you select stretch over here, you can see that it stretches itself. Okay, let me just select both of them and play it for you so that you can see the results. Okay. I mean, this song is still like usable for making YouTube intros and even outros. It's still usable, yes. But now let me put in stretch and see what happens. First, it will render the required files. So what happened is basically it made it a stretch, which is use the whole file and then compress it into a single song. Now I do not want that, so I'll click on remix, and then basically it's back to normal now. Now you can use this tool to also make your audio large. Okay, now let's go ahead and select the remix tool. Now we will select a bit more time, 1 minute, since this is like a basic 57 seconds audio. Let's press Ctrl Z and put it back into our original size. Okay, so that's our original size. Now I'll use the remix tool to make it bigger to at least 35 seconds. And now if I go over here, double click, you can see that these ridges over here are basically the remix tool working its magic. And here you will see that every part over here is like a repeat of some parts, and it can also be an delete of some parts and then replacing it with the original one. So let's just play it. Okay, let's make it a bit smaller now. Let's make it a bit smaller, just like before. Now if I play it, you will notice that the clip over here is not that bad. So basically, using the remix tool, you have to make sure you use the right amount of time for the video clips that you're placing, or else it will sound weird, just like the way I did it before. Okay, just like that. See that loop over there, it's weird. But if I just move the remix tool time a bit to like 20 seconds. There you go. Now let me try this remix tool with another audio. All right, so let me bring in an audio. Okay, so I have my audio here, Eternal Garden by Dan Haim, and this is what it sounds like. This is the intro part. Now this is the bridge, this is the intro, this is the bridge, and this is the outro. Okay, let's go ahead and basically use the music tool on it, or remix tool, not music tool. Okay, so first let me just put it over here and then decrease the time. Now it will analyze the clip first, so let's wait for it. All right, afterwards, if I zoom in, all right, you'll notice that it already had cut some parts over here to make it small. Now if I play it, Okay, so let's go to this part over here where it's showing the ridges, which is basically another process of how it analyzed the audio and then basically made it a bit smaller. And here you can see that the transition was perfect and we didn't have to use a third-party software in order to make it a bit more like time consuming, or even put in more effort to make our audio perfect. Now let me make it at least this much small, but it won't happen. There's a certain limit to how much small you can make an audio. Now let's play it. Okay, so this is how you basically use the remix tool. I hope you've understood how to use it. Now, what should you consider before using this remix tool? When you remix a song, consider elements like target duration, dynamics, which is basically how many different sections there are in a song, and each type of music. Just like I told you before over here, this was our intro, this was the bridge, and this was the outro for this significant song only. Mind it. All right. And use the customized sliders in the essential sound panel in order to like try out different arrangements. Then select an audio clip, enable remix, and then edit these properties. All right. Now about target duration, if you know the duration you're trying to achieve, you can use this in the target duration text, as you can clearly see over here. Okay, and the essential sound panel remix properties. You can also use the remix tool in the toolbar panel and drag it to the length of the music clip that you match your content to visually. Depending on factors like the original tempo and composition of the song and other parameters, remix tool finds a version of the music within 5 seconds of the target duration, and usually within 1 second, and it also depends on your RAM. Now, the second thing you need to know is the segments. Adjust this parameter to control, okay? Adjust this parameter to control the number of cuts and crossfades made in a remix. Lower values make few cuts as necessary. Higher values gives the algorithm more flexibility to adapt to dynamic songs. And next thing you need to know are the variations. Adjust this parameter to quickly preview alternate remixes, focusing on either or harmonic elements of the song. A track with a strong solo instrument like a trumpet or a voice may get better results with melodic variation, while an orchestral or chorale piece may sound more natural with a harmonic variation. Okay, now how do you know that your remix tool works? Every edit remix tool makes is displayed in a vertical zigzag line, just like I showed you over here. Okay, and you will move your playhead a little before these indicators and press play, and now here you can hear the new edit in real time, just like I showed you before. You can also double click the clip to open the remix song in the source monitor to listen to it in isolation. So let's use the selection tool, double click on it, and there you can listen to it in a more concentrated way. Okay, all right, now some tips and tricks you need to know before you use this is that remix always keeps the beginning and end of your clip and remixes in the middle. If there is a specific part of the song you want to happen at a particular point in your project, split the original clip right at this point, and the remix tool clips separately both of them, and the remix tool clips both of them separately. You can put them together to make a seamless transition between two and align this point with your video. Okay, the remix tool does not understand the vocals in the music sometimes. This means that remix keeps the first few lines from one verse and edits them into the last few lines of a different verse. Keep this in mind while remixing music with vocals. All right, so this is all you need to know about our remix tool over here. It's very good. and it's a very easy tool to use to save time instead of going to third-party software to edit your audio or even make audio in that sense. All right, so that is all for this lesson. Go ahead, put in some songs that you like and use remix tool on them. I'm very sure that you'll be surprised with the results. And make sure you use the razor tool, and always learn to use shortcuts because they make your life easier and time shorter while using the Adobe Premiere Pro software. So thank you for watching this lesson, and I'll see you in the next video.